My name is Jay Buchsbaum, and I've been in the wine business for, I hate to admit, almost between 25 and 30 years already. Starting out tasting some of the sweetest and selling some of the most sweetest wines on earth, traditional Concord and Kiddush wines. And today we have some of the most wonderful wines on earth that are made kosher. The big stories in kosher wine is, overall, of course, is that kosher wine has come of age. There is absolutely no reason why any person drinking kosher wines would have to compromise in quality, in taste, and in value. And that's the big story. The sub-stories, the subset stories, especially currently, are, in my view, the big story about Israel. If you take a look at the wines of Israel right behind me, over my right-hand shoulder, you'll notice that there are 6 wine-growing regions in Israel. And even though Israel is about the size of the state of New Jersey, its topography, its geography, and its weather conditions, its effect that it has from the Mediterranean, which is off to the western part, over to my right, is affecting the growth and the vineyards wonderfully. So Israel's a big story. There are great wineries from Israel that are making great wines. Some of them very big, like Carmel, which is making really wonderful wines. Other of them are very small, like Yatir, which is all the way at the bottom, which is making wines from the hills in Judea, the southern hills of Judea. And it's interesting that in the north, you can have snow in the morning, go skiing, and at the same day, you can take a 45-minute flight to Eilat, all the way in the south, and go scuba diving that same afternoon. So and that's one of the big stories. The other big story, of course, is the Herzog Wine Cellars, a brand new state-of-the-art winery, completely kosher, in Oxnard, California. With it, it has a magnificent tasting room. The LA Times called their restaurant in that winery the best restaurant in the entire region. Best new restaurant in the region just about 6 months ago. And they weren't talking about it as kosher, just as good restaurant food. And really, the Herzog family, which goes back 8 generations to 1848 in winemaking, that's their emphasis, is to make the absolute best of whatever they are involved in terms of wine, to make the best wines, whether it comes from Israel, to find the best wines, whether it comes from Israel, to make the best wines, whether they come from California, from our own winery, or from France, where we have our own winemaker there as well. So I'd like to lift a glass. This is one of the first wines that our own winemaker in our own winery made in Oxnard, California. It's a Reserve Pinot Noir. It's a 2005. And what's interesting about Pinot Noir, it's also considered in France the great red Burgundies. It's also considered the winemaker's wine. And that's because the Pinot Noir grape has very thin skins, very delicate, very difficult to work with, very hard to make a really wonderful wine out of. I'd like to wish everybody l'chaim, and we're going to talk a lot about a lot of wines for the next hour or so. So please join us. L'chaim.
Hi, my name is Howard Abarbanel from the Abarbanel Wine Company. We've been around now for 15 years. This Passover 2007, we're going to be celebrating our 15th Pesach, bringing the finest and limited production small batch kosher wines into your homes to enjoy the Seders, for Shabbos, for Smachot, for Yom Tovim. What sets our wines apart from the other people in the kosher wine business is that everything we do is very limited production. Everything is estate grown and or estate bottled. We harvest in all our vineyards exclusively by hand, not by machine. We also, none of our grapes travel more than a mile or 2 from the vineyard to the wine press. And everything we do is from mature vines, being at least 10 years old. In fact, some of our properties, like Chateau de la Salle in France's Beaujolais region, the vines are 100 to 130 years old. And it is the world's foremost and most outstanding kosher Beaujolais. We bring you things from all over the world, although our heavy emphasis is on Israel. In Israel, we're very proud to represent the Noah and Hebron Heights wineries. The Hebron Heights Winery is based in Kiryat Arba, with most of the grapes being grown in the Judean hills. We are the only people making kosher wine in Kiryat Arba. As you know, Hebron was the capital for King David for 14 years before he moved to Jerusalem. And for much of Jewish history in ancient Israel, the best wines coming out of Israel came from the Hebron Hills and the Judean Hills. We also represent the Beckett's Flat Winery in the Margaret River of Western Australia. They are Australia's most honored and heralded kosher wines. Last year, when Israel's president visited Australia at the official state banquet, the only kosher wines served were from Beckett's Flat. It's a small family estate, and they're making some wonderful full-bodied Shirazes, Cabernet Shiraz, a delicious rosé called Cerise, a Sauvignon Blanc Semillon blend, and a Chardonnay. Also, the first people to put super premium kosher wines in twist-off closures, getting away from corks, which can fail and ruin the wine. We also have a marvelous portfolio from France's Alsace region, where we're making Pinot Noir, Riesling, Gewürztraminer, Pinot Blanc, and our Brut Cremant de Alsace Sparkling, which is America's most popular and most outstanding Mevushal kosher sparkler, highly recommended by the New York Times and a winner of several gold medals. I should say that our portfolio in 2006 was recognized by receiving 47 medals in blind tastings at world wine competitions, at the world's most important wine competitions. And our cumulative total since 1996 is 225 medals. No other kosher wine company can boast of more medals in a single year and more medals cumulatively. This also includes so many positive reviews. They are too numerous to count. And if you go to our website, 4kosherwine.com, the number 4, and then kosherwine.com, you can read all about it. And the reason why we received 47 medals last year is because I am your personal kosher sommelier. I am your wine steward, and I travel the world. And if you remember your commercials for Colombian coffee, when El Exigente would come into town, and everyone would be pensive until and on edge until he tastes the coffee. Well, that's how I am when I travel the world to the wineries, and we settle for nothing but the very best. And the reason for that is because of Hidur Mitzvah. And Hidur Mitzvah means the magnification of the mitzvah of making Kiddush. And when you're making Kiddush, it is as though you're offering a sacrifice to Hashem, and you're asking for Hashem's blessings for you, your family, you're obviously thanking Hashem for your health and for your parnasa. And when you bring an offering to Hashem, it should be from your first fruits, from your choicest crops, from the best of your animals. And so, because we are working with you as your Shaliach Tzibor in helping you make this sacrifice to Hashem when you make Kiddush, we are obsessed fanatically to make sure that whatever you have in your bottle, whether it's a $10 bottle or a $95 bottle, that it is the best kosher wine that you could possibly be offering to Hashem. And in addition to that, that it is the best kosher wine in that price point. Among some of the more outstanding things from Israel, we have Jerusalem Heights, which is a blend of 50% Cabernet and 50% Merlot. Is winner of several gold medals, and England's #1 wine critic Jancis Robinson called it her #1 pick last year of all the Israeli wines that she tasted, aged 18 months in French oak barrels. Machpelah, which is named after Marata Machpelah, where our matriarchs and patriarchs of the Jewish people are buried, is a wonderful blend of Cabernet, Merlot, and Marsanne, aged for 20 months in oak, and features a picture of the Tomb of the Patriarchs, one of the holiest sites of the Jewish people. And among our more affordable wines from Israel is Gideon Cabernet Sauvignon, which is aged 6 months in French oak barrels and comes from vineyards in the Beth Shemesh area. We're very excited to be here at this tasting, and I want to wish you l'chaim and thank you very much for spending time with us tasting wines before Pesach.
taking 10 milligrams liquid. Remember this discussion? You probably don't remember.
I do.
I'm taking 10 milligrams liquid because I never got it below 2/3.
I came home. I came home.
It just didn't work.
I was able to drive.
I lost, just recently, I started about 4 months ago.
Then I said,
Truthfully,
you don't mix.
And now
When they start tasting,
it should probably be done over 2
milligrams, it's down to
When
170.
you taste too many things at one time,
Down to
your
170.
your
and
tongue-
my
Okay, you ready?
stuff is
That's why I
60.
broke it in.
Gerard, how do you want to be introduced? As a, what? Restaurateur, chef, wine judge, and chassid.
In that order? No, the
Huh?
other way around.
You do that. Huh?
Yeah, you do that.
Why is the empty chair? I was gonna say one Gerard move.
Why is the empty chair for Elio? What do you think?
Can we
Yeah.
suggest that we taste
Now, I
both
should
his and
tell you-
mine?
What?
I should tell you
We're the
that,
whites now.
that
Let's start
Eliyahu
with
is
the
probably
Goose
the
Goose
foremost
Bay,
kosher
exactly, and
wine
then
connoisseur
Chardonnay.
in the world because
Goose Bay.
you must taste everything visiting everyone's home. And
Brad?
clearly,
Whatever breathe.
yes, so clearly I would think that he would be our Robert Parker.
Goose Bay, then the,
Get everything down.
I go by
People
Russia.
pour their mocktail
but it's not cold.
Being French,
His
I go by Russia.
Well, that's
So
fine.
do your two.
Yeah, that's what I would suggest.
Okay? Okay, everybody.
I don't mind saying, I really love France.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
My name, don't clap, okay. My name is Shlomo Perelman, and I am the owner of Judaism.com, and also Pinsker's Judaica store in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who for the last 50 years has been a kosher wine purveyor in Western Pennsylvania. And we are very pleased to have today a group of wine tasters that we brought here to Pittsburgh to give the kosher wine consumer a bit of a heads up on what wines they should try for Pesach. And we are going to taste some wines from all over the world. A great number of these are from Israel, obviously. And I'd like to introduce our panel. First is Dr. Barry Levine, very well-known cardiologist here in Pittsburgh, and a man of many talents and many interests, who also has a very adept palate for wine. Next to him is Jay Buchsbaum, Vice President of Royal Wine Company, who I've known for many years. And he's one of the great promoters of Jewish wine around the country. And we're very glad that you've decided to come.
Thank you.
And next to Jay is Howard Abarbanel, who I haven't known quite as long, but we've known each other for many years. And his enthusiasm for kosher wine and your commitment to kosher wine and operating as you do in a boutique setting is very commendable, and I have very high respect for that type of commitment.
Thank you.
And next to Howard is a friend of mine named Gerard Mayer, who comes to us from France, who is a man of tremendous talents in food and also in engineering. He's a restaurateur, a famous restaurateur in Western Pennsylvania, a certified wine judge, a deeply spiritual man who will bring a tremendous amount of insight into the wines that we're going to taste. So I'm really glad that you're here too.
Thank you.
So I think we're going to start with a wine that can't be any further away from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in miles, and that is a Chardonnay, I believe, from
Sauvignon Blanc
a
from New
Sauvignon
Zealand.
Blanc from
New
Goose
Zealand.
Bay, New Zealand.
Correct.
Goose Bay, New Zealand. So we're going to be taking that. Okay, cut. Say
only your
amen
wine,
to
not-
it,
Michael, can I get a glass of it?
and then we can taste. We need 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Yeah? Right now?
Goose Bay New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. Magnificent. The first and only, as far as I know, Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand that is kosher. But what's more interesting than that, and this is the policy or the goal that we have every time we bring out a wine, is to make a wine as good or better than its non-kosher counterpart. This is a great example because this particular wine got a 91 in the Wine Spectator. I believe it's the only kosher wine that has ever gotten that high a score in the Wine Spectator, which is the largest magazine for wines in the world. So this wine has got a grassy notes, but besides, in addition to the grassy notes, it's got tremendous amount of fruit on the nose, but even more importantly, it's got a liveliness and a fruitiness in the palate that's backed up by a firm acidity that allows the wine to be perfect for drinking with food. So enjoy the Goose Bay Sauvignon Blanc.
Anybody else?
No, it's very impressive. It's got a great bouquet. There are some very sharp, appropriate citrus overtones to it, specifically lemon. And I quite agree. It'll go very nicely with any number of foods. It would be very good, for example, with even some of the heavier fishes, but certainly the light fish as well. It's very impressive. I don't think the 91 from the Wine Spectator was an overestimation.
Thank you.
Ja?
It's a young wine, what I call a young wine. It has a certain strength. It's very fruity, at the same time dry, and almost like bubbly. So that's why it's a young one. It's an interesting wine, basically for fish. I look at it for fish. It's an interesting wine, and I think it's the first one we test. So I'm reserving a little bit because I want to compare with everything. But it's a good wine, and there is no negative at all, or even on the contrary on that wine.
Oh, it's got a surprisingly
Yeah.
strong nose. It's really good.
Okay, good. We used to keep it short,
Yeah.
but we'll never get through it.
High in there.
Herzog
Good.
Keep it
Chardonnay.
short and keep it short and
That's
eat,
acceptable.
okay?
Chardonnay was
What's next?
Who's doing it next?
I am too. The next two are Howard's.
Okay.
So I do it together. This is the Baron Herzog Chardonnay. It's our primary Chardonnay. It's made out of the new winery in Oxnard, California. What's really exciting about this is the first wine that is wholly and completely made in the brand new winery there. I think what I love about this wine is that even at a very reasonably priced, approximately $12 to $13, this wine exhibits great aromas. It's gone through malolactic fermentation, partial malolactic fermentation, which gives you that kind of glycery, kind of smoother texture, as well as a more fuller bodied. It's also part of the line of Baron Herzog, one of which, our Chenin Blanc, which we're not going to taste here because they're just in the interest of time, is the most winning medalist wine in America. And I'm not talking about kosher, just from Baron Herzog, the Chenin Blanc is. But this Chardonnay, if you take a look at the legs, the little driplets coming down the side, it's hard to get, I think, in the camera, but there's lots of little legs coming down the side. That shows viscosity, richness, fullness. It's a really very nice wine for more fattier fishes and perhaps some grilled chicken and fowl dishes as well. L'chaim.
Okay, this, we gotta keep this short.
It is good.
This is subtle with a very nice finish.
It's good. A lot of citrus too. And it's also a young wine, but it's a lot of citrus. It's a good Chardonnay. It's, no aftertaste. No.
Not a long finish.
Yeah. Unfinished.
Are we going to be drinking any old wines today?
We are drinking mostly red.
Yeah, but
The white, we are. The white is.
Now, what do you think?
Have a
Should we?
We'll be speaking about the
I
value.
think we have to.
But I think the ABCD helps really after that to compare, because the one we don't recommend,
Absolutely. No,
and it's very important also to eventually eliminate. The goal of what we do
Absolutely.
is to eliminate what should not be on the shelf, and definitely to spot out the D's is not negative, to the contrary.
Well, I think
It helps
today we're going to be
to
promoting.
avoid people to have a bad surprise.
Yeah,
To
but-
pay $20 for a bottle
but
that they
I
don't like.
think-
We're going to be talking about A's and B's here.
Yeah, I
we're
think
gonna be
people
talking-
want to hear what they should buy, not what they
Exactly.
shouldn't.
No, but for
And I
us,
would-
yeah, but for us.
For us,
I
yeah,
think,
for us,
yeah,
for sure.
I think that from what I've seen in the preparation room, I think everyone sent in a lot of their best stuff.
Yeah, well, we should-
I don't think we're going to see a lot of D's here.
It's really,
So
Gerard, this is not, for this purpose, this is really just to promote positive wine
Okay, so,
online.
Yeah.
so if we have a remark, we'll say, I don't see it in ABC.
Right,
You will understand what it means.
okay.
okay.
Well, he's
If I
gonna cut
tell
it
you,
anyway.
I don't
They're
see
gonna
it.
cut- they're gonna edit
Yeah.
this out.
If
don't
you,
worry.
if you,
Gerard, you
if,
can be honest.
if you hear
Okay,
me
we're
saying,
next.
Okay.
I don't see it in ABC, you know what it means.
I have a
Here we go.
suggestion, if you all hate it, just say ich, we'll cut and go
There
to
you
the
go.
next.
That's
Good
easy.
idea, good idea.
Probably
Okay.
not gonna happen, but
Or even
okay.
if two of us.
Here we go.
You,
Because if it's ich, we're
Michael-
gonna carry it.
Michael,
I am not going to
have
comment
my
on his
sheet?
wines, because I don't feel
If
that's
you don't like
appropriate.
it, we cut and go to the next.
Not
You
a
don't
video.
mind if I say something positive on yours, if
No,
I have
no,
something
no, no,
positive,
no, but
do
what I mean to say is that, you know, privately I'll tell you, but I don't think it's appropriate, you know, on
Okay.
video.
Okay.
So, okay, we ready? We're going to be tasting Beckett's Flat 2006 Chardonnay from Western Australia's Margaret River, which is Australia's #1 wine region. It is the region that is most like Bordeaux in its climate, in its gravelly soil. Every day in the middle of the day, a steep fog rolls in off the Southern Ocean, which which faces Antarctica, and blankets the vineyards and protects them from the strong sun in southwestern Australia. And everything here is harvested by hand at 3 in the morning in small baskets. And you'll notice on this wine a lot of honeydew melon, pear, and apple. This is also in a twist-off cap. No corkscrew required. It's just the latest trend down under in Australia and New Zealand with the twist-off caps to eliminate any possibility of cork taint.
very nice. Good nose. Very nice taste.
This wine is also Mavushal and is around the $12 to $14 mark, depending on where you'll find it.
Very nice.
Yeah, an excellent bargain. I frankly will think that there may be some prejudices to buying a screw-top wine as
Yeah.
opposed to a cork, and I think that has to be overcome.
But the content is good.
Yeah, but
I vote for the screw cap. I think it's a great idea. I think it's an excellent wine, and my hat goes off to you.
Thank you. I have to tell you something, that the cork is the apex of 17th century technology. And you may remember that a lot of vodka, beer, scotch, etc. used to come in corks that you had to pull out. And today you can buy a $160 or $200 bottle of scotch and it'll have a twist cap. And that's because the single malt makers know that they're not going to risk their hard labor on corks. On all of our suppliers and all of our wineries, I am begging them on bended knee to ditch the corks and get twist-off caps. But Beckett's Flat are the first people I've gotten to adopt
for the
them.
Reds too?
For the Reds too, if we can.
A good cork can be up to $1.50.
So?
Well, the winemakers are very concerned about the cork. But it's true that what
I listen, I
damage
replaced
a
corks
bottle,
after 20 years.
what
and
damage
that's
a
okay,
good
too.
what damage a good bottle is a bad cork.
Yeah, so you replace them after
Definitely.
20 years or so.
Well,
I knew that.
You know what?
Actually,
There have
small
been
wineries do that.
There have been. It's an
good
industry.
wine.
It's an industry fact that between 2 and 10% of all wines suffer from cork failure, either due to TCA contamination, premature oxidation, any number of problems. And I think that if 2 to 10% of automobiles, or 2 to 10% of boxes of cereal, or 2 to 10% of containers of orange juice were bad, that would be viewed as unacceptable. Yet in the wine business, we've come to accept this. And I think that I urge everybody in kosher wine to try to move to twist-off closures.
Again, my own construct, I have a big taina between mavushal and non-mavushal wines. I think it's a shanda to put a non-mavushal wine in anything but a corked bottle for the aging process.
I understand your.
For the breathing.
Yes.
Exactly.
For the breathing.
For the maturation process.
But again, you know, I have seen.
Again,
We
last
could do a
bad
whole
wines.
we could do
We
a
can
whole
do
show
a
on
show.
just that.
I have seen
So I
bad
mean,
wines
let's reserve
with
that
a
for
cork.
next time. I think.
we talked about that last
You,
time.
you know,
the
for
fire
white, I
oysters
think it's
is-
okay. A wine
You're absolutely,
for
you happen to be right.
Barry.
Yes,
But
We
we
don't
are
want to
speaking.
show that. We don't want to show
That's
that.
We have a
exactly what
vinaigrette
we are
here.
speaking. An accident happened with
We
the
don't want to show that.
It's
No,
cork.
The
The
bottle
wine
is
is
corked.
cork.
Cork failure.
cork failure.
It's,
Yes.
it's vinaigrette.
Well, it's not vinegar, but
No,
it's,
but it's
not.
it's off.
It
It's-
has
Go there.
a typical taste of bad cork.
It's gonna go there.
Good wine, but
It could be, you know, a different bottle would be fine.
Yes.
It
You
cork.
know what? There's a hard and fast rule when you're in this business, which is that whenever you're making an important presentation, invariably you will have a cork bottle. So-
I think that's a
At
good
least,
thing.
yes.
You know, it shows people what
But it's
cork
tough to
means.
taste after that. Taste of cork.
Well, piece of bread might. But
Okay, so
Okay, this wine, the next
Five.
one is from Israel, you can speak on.
Okay, great. The next wine that we're about to taste, why don't we wait until it comes?
yeah,
Okay, the next wine we're about to taste is
The wine.
called Choshen. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
why don't we get you the bottle?
Okay, why don't we get me the bottle?
There we
Would
go.
be a good thing.
There it's
It's called
many more
Choshen.
white.
I have spent literally 2 years. This is not one of the wines that is being brought in any kind of commercial way. Come on, bring it in. And everybody should say hello to Michael, who is our resident expert here in at Pinsker's here in Detroit.
Michael.
But this is
Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry, in Pittsburgh. Excuse me. You know, if
You were
it's
in
Sunday,
Detroit.
it must be Pittsburgh. But in any event, you'll note the darker color. This is because this wine has spent almost 2 years, about 18 months, in oak. It is named after one of the stones in the breastplate of the highest priest. It is called
High priest,
of the high priest
the Kohen Gadol.
jasper, which is the stone. There is extremely limited.
It's not the name of the
That's
priest.
not the name of the priest. It's extremely limited in production, and I believe if we're able to get some here in Pittsburgh, it'll be a case or two, about 12 to 24 bottles, period. This wine is extremely rich. It's gone through what we call 100% malolactic fermentation. It was fermented on the lees, which means that it was fermented with the mulch in order to get full extract. And as a result, you have a very rich, very flavorful wine that would go with heavy, fatty fish dishes as well as even mushroom type of blends of chicken and others.
What?
So
Chicken.
please, I welcome anybody else to.
Very
What is at the price?
The price is going to
Nosy.
be probably around $35 retail.
great wine. Not too strong in alcohol, also. It's not sweet, but you cannot feel the alcohol in it, even though that it's not completely. The temperature is not that cold. Really great nose and great taste. Very, very nice. Very, very agreeable.
Thank you.
It's a little unusual for the Benyaminas. I like their Chardonnay a great deal. This is a great deal more finished than their standard
Finish is great.
than their standard.
But- You know, we're talking
wine.
$45 white wine.
Listen,
So people need to be a connoisseur, and then they can appreciate really the quality there is. It's a great taste.
Okay, great. Okay,
Next.
Citrus.
Next.
Citrus.
What?
you're gonna bring in two
Typically.
No, there's 10 cases in the country.
Ah, okay.
I'm not kidding.
huh?
There's 10 cases in the country.
Do you
last
have,
time
do
we
you
went to this
have,
domain
do you have
test.
crackers?
Right. Well, then
Because
Wants
he just wants
us
us
a
to, he
reaction.
just wants a reaction.
Line.
I like the nose.
Sweet.
Very nice.
Nose is nice. Taste is sweet, a little bit sugary. And it's good for people who like sweet and more sweeter taste. But it's a good wine, I think, because it's
A lot
not
of fruit.
Lot of fruit.
This is
Because again,
very good
this
for
one does not
American
come
palate.
from the fridge.
Well, this is, there's,
So
it's interesting. There's an
But
interesting
it's
mix of
interesting.
fruits in here.
Yeah, but
There's some plum,
I
there's
can,
also
I
some,
can feel it's mixed.
some citronella.
It has also a little bit of apple going on,
Yeah,
and
apple.
that's always
Yeah.
nice in a Chardonnay.
Yeah,
You know,
but it's on the sweet side.
there
Not
is
bad.
Not bad.
Bad.
Not bad.
It's
there is
really-
a threshold of 0.7 RS.
Okay, what's the name?
0.7%.
Brad.
And I think
And
this
what's
hits
the,
it.
let's see how good it is relative to the
And I'll
price.
bet you
What's the
it's got a
price?
little bit of oak on it as well.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's
Agave
Agafen.
Agaven. Okay.
Napa
okay.
Chardonnay, typical California fruit-forward Chardonnay.
Now, yes, we can say California.
Yeah, that's
It's definitely New World.
what you would expect.
Yeah.
All right.
What
All
the
right.
what was the price range for the Agafen?
25.
25 more or more.
Yeah, total prices.
Well, then I go 35, and I go the other one.
I hear you. Okay. Yeah, it's a little richer, but this is
Okay, from all the white.
No, we're going to the reds now.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm trying to, in my personal opinion, if we are not going on the price, we are really in quality, is the Cohen Gadol,
what?
wine from $35.
Number two.
Number
yeah.
5. I really think
I like the
that the Australian number 3, the Beckett Flat, was my. It's something I was interested to learn about and taste. It was very surprising to me. It was a good surprise, particularly $12 or $14. I think it's a good deal and a good taste.
Also, I like the goose bag. I thought that was very good.
Okay.
We have another
We didn't
wine
have
now?
any losers here.
We are
We
done
didn't
with
have any
white.
losers
We
here.
did not have any losers.
One more white?
We're having more white.
We're getting more
I'm a-
white. Are we
hey,
not being told what this
I'm
is
a
as
red
well?
man. What is this?
This is also one of those.
No, we'll
I
take
cook
a
with the
walk,
right.
no.
All right, whose is this?
Who am I missing for an old glass?
I'll bet
that's
you
mine.
do.
I got it.
This is something maybe you
That-
might
Ah,
Barbanel, it's yours.
okay.
A Riesling.
Here we go.
At least that's what the bottle was.
Okay, we're gonna get some quiet on the set. Okay, this is a Barbanel Riesling Vandal sauce. It is a dry Riesling. Most people, when they see Riesling and kosher, are thinking sweet, like Johannesburg Riesling. This is a dry Riesling. It is grown on the south-facing mountain called Mamburg in Siegelsheim in Alsace, and it is made 100% in stainless steel. This is the 2004 vintage, and Riesling is very, very good with sushi, sashimi, dry white fishes, and white poultry.
I cannot give an opinion on that wine.
I'm not a
But-
Riesling fan.
So, but and maybe it's because it's not cooled. I think the same wine coming from the fridge, we will pay more tribute to it. But to me, I have no comment on this.
It's too warm. It's too warm,
Too warm.
actually. Yes.
Too warm, then the sweet taste is coming up, and it's exactly the type of Riesling you said it does not taste,
Well,
which I am
it
feeling.
needs
Yeah.
more chill.
Yeah,
Yes.
more chill. But okay, we are done, Brad.
Let's go. Next.
We
I mean,
start with
we're
the
going
red.
faster than you. You were trying to hurry us up. We're
Are
going
we
faster
doing the
than
red,
you.
Brad? Yeah. Okay. So the red, we are starting in the way we had the list.
You know
We are
something?
starting with
the
the.
Beaujolais?
I made the list. I take responsibility on
Brad?
the order.
You know, if we don't
Brad,
like, si
Brad,
on
I
n'aime
would
pas
say
le vin,
start
on
to
peut le
the
dire en
point.
français.
Accord.
Ça va?
Oui, on peut le dire. Oui, c'est bien.
Can I make a suggestion that both the Hagafen and the Herzog Pinot Noir should go after the Abarbanel Pinot Noir, since they're all Pinot Noirs?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Totally.
What do you want to change?
Oh, okay.
No, we have two Pinot Noirs at the bottom of the California Israeli.
Right.
I think they
The
should go
Hagafen
after
and the
first Pinot
Herzog,
Noir.
right?
They should- All the Pinot Noirs should be together.
Yeah.
Likewise, truthfully, the Abarbanel.
We can do it, we can all, we do it varietally.
Just out of order on the sheet, we'll bring them up, they're in order in here.
Okay,
Good, we can do it
great.
varietally.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Same thing with the Hebronite Syrah should be with the
With the others,
Shirazes.
yeah.
Okay, this is Barbanel Beaujolais.
How move that?
Beaujolais Village.
By the way, it's Beaujolais.
Village.
Beaujolais Village.
Okay, cut that from,
You have more water?
yeah.
Normally it was supposed to be chill. Yeah, it's chill. It's okay. It's okay.
I think it's chilled correctly.
Okay, this is a Barbanel Beaujolais village made at Chateau de la Salle in a small town called
Very nice.
Lantigny, which is near Morgon. The estate is 300 years old. As I mentioned before, the grapevines are 100 to 130 years old. This is made in old-fashioned ceramic tanks. They don't even have stainless steel at this facility. And this vintage, the 2005, is not Novochal. And it is very limited production, and all the bottles say on it Old Vines. And it's a very special and distinct and unique Beaujolais, and it retails, again, for around $12 to $14.
Great wine.
I think it's-
I really like it.
Yeah, I think it's an exception.
Very good.
For so many reasons, not the least of which is it's non-Mavushal. But beyond that, it really is prototypic of the Beaujolais village. And I think one of the great shames in the wine industry today is so much of the Beaujolais gets turned into Beaujolais Nouveau.
Yeah, and normally a Beaujolais village is much more on the
No, this is-
acidity side, not that one. This one, it's fruity. Look at the leg. You have legs for which is not often for a Beaujolais village. Actually, I tell you something. It does not taste a Beaujolais village when I close my eyes. It tastes a Morgon. It's
Well,
a
that-
light Morgon.
This is just a few miles down the road from Morgon.
It's a light Morgon. And I close my eyes and I can tell you it's a Morgon.
Yeah.
Great wine. And the ratio for the price, it's amazing.
Yeah, that-
$12, $14. Great wine.
That's a good
Great one. I cannot wait. It's in the shop.
Next.
Okay, let me ask Gerard.
I like to
Agent
see.
Ennis to show
I
us.
like to see the face of. I like to see the face of my friend over there because
I know,
when we look at one each other.
I know,
and,
we sort of-
we don't need to talk.
We coordinate things, that's true.
We don't need to talk. That's a great one. I tell you what.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
Are we
Well, I don't know if the sound's going in or not now.
Oh, you want to do it again?
No,
Just
this
be
is another
careful
one,
with
right?
what you
New
do at
one.
the bottom of
This is the
the
Pinot Noir?
Pinot
It's
Noir?
okay now. It's okay now. Okay.
Okay. What we're tasting now is 2005 Abarbanel Pinot Noir, Vin d'Alsace. It's made in Alsace in northeast France. This is the only kosher Alsatian Pinot Noir. You'll notice a very, very distinctive terroir. It's not going to taste like Burgundy. It's not going to taste like Oregon or Washington. It's not going to taste like Israel. Now, this is made 100% in stainless steel. And Pinot Noir is the only red grape that is grown in Alsace. Everything else in Alsace is white. This is the only red grape grown in Alsace, so it's very much a distinct and original bottle that is priced around $18 to $20. And Pinot Noir is often very misunderstood by wine consumers today. Pinot Noir is a very light red, and many consumers today have become inured to the New World style red wines that are big fruit and big alcohol. And as is typical of so many old world or French red wines, this is much more restrained and buttoned down. So this is our first ever Pinot Noir from Alsace.
Very good nose, very good taste. I would add that this goes perfectly, even it's red, this is the type of red which goes perfectly with fish, even with red meat. It's with not too strong, not a meat with a sauce, but it's a good wine. It's a good Riesling. It's a very nice wine.
Next.
But for the price and ratio, I prefer the one before.
Well, no, the Beaujolais is
Yes,
much better
Beaujolais.
buy.
I
Is, guys,
I need
not to
another-
put it in the shop, but to put it
In
Yeah.
the
in the
catalog.
wine cellar.
It's different.
I need another
This
one.
is,
It's different.
anybody can speak.
I'll talk about it, I don't care.
Yes, yes,
Right.
Which one is this? This is
Yours.
another Pinot Noir?
Yours.
I'm gonna need another one of these.
Yeah.
But I tell you what,
Only in New York.
409, this is a good wine.
Huh?
What are we doing
This
here?
wine for 9 is a
another
good wine.
design.
Okay.
But in the
Alright.
shop,
What is this?
you don't want it because it competes with your Beaujolais. And the Beaujolais is absolutely perfect.
I don't think it'll compete. You know.
No, but I say,
Pinot Noir has been discredited. I think you're right, to a large extent. People just don't relate to
You
it.
need to be a
You know, I'd have Pinot Noir in Switzerland because I couldn't get it.
This is Nudel is.
Out of the way.
All right, what are we doing now?
Okay, this is California Pinot Noir. I don't know what it's going to taste like yet. I don't know the winery, intimately, as I do some of the others. But Hagafen has been around. Hagafen Pinot Noir has been around for a very long. Hagafen as a winery has been around for a long time. This Pinot Noir has been around for several years. He likes to make his wine intense. They're all from the Napa Valley area, which usually means fruit forward. And I guess I'm gonna leave it to our panel here to tell me what they think about it.
I like it.
Yes, good wine.
Great wine. Good wine. Good one.
This is a Pinot Noir that's more to the American palate.
Yeah,
It's
I
as
think
simple
it
as that.
corresponds more to the American taste.
And it does have a
little
nice
bit
finish.
at the finish, little bit of tannic effect. You feel the tannin a little bit at the end,
It's California.
which is it's Californian, but when you put it in the mouth, it's great taste. It's a good wine. What's the price?
It's not inexpensive though. I believe it's about $35.
Yeah.
From a bushel?
Quite an expensive bottle
Yeah.
of wine.
It's not Mavush. It is Mavush.
It is
Yes,
Mavush.
it is there.
All
I know.
Hagafen
I
wines.
know they are.
4.35. I put it there.
Okay, next.
I'll have to tell you my bias about Mabushal and non-Mabushal. It's
okay.
medical as well as from the Rambam.
We'll have to tape it. Actually.
Medical is.
You should say it now.
Like
Say
I
it
said,
now.
we could have
I
a.
know. There are medical benefits to red wine, specifically within the
Yes.
grape skin.
Yeah.
One talks about phytoestrogens, but also flavonoids. And the phytoestrogens are heat labile. You mavushal a wine, you
And it kills
denature the phytoestrogens.
Phytoestrogens, really?
It loses some of its medicinal benefits.
Wow.
Also, if you
You
look,
know what? He's a
also
cardiologist.
when you look at the wine itself, it's less lustrous.
You know what,
than
Doctor?
Mavushal.
You need to talk to the rabbis here in America because I
I've-
just came back from Eretz Israel, and any kosher restaurant you go to in Yerushalayim,
The biggest mahadra.
you can have the most machmir place will
Yeah.
serve
Is that
non-bushel
right?
wine.
Not here.
And I will
You're
tell you
right.
that here,
Go ahead,
no
bring it
matter
out,
what
bring
it
it
is
out,
that
bring
you're
it out.
doing,
I know.
the Rebbeim tell you that you cannot have it.
This is the Herzog?
And so we make
I need
mavushal
the bottle.
wine,
Believe me,
as does everybody, because
cannot have
we
what?
have to,
Mevusha?
for a simcha.
You're
you need to
absolutely
have
right, and I
mavusha.
appreciate that, and I know that. And we live in America where, 3% of the population is Jewish as opposed to Israel. Absolutely right, and I understand
Whenever you're ready.
It's-
Moving. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
No, no.
No, it's just that I want to.
Yes,
I'm
please,
hungry.
Please.
This wine is also a Pinot Noir. We're still on the Pinot Noir subject, but this is the first Pinot Noir that the Herzog family has made. It's the only Pinot Noir they've made. We've waited many, many years to make this wine because we wanted to make it in the traditional French Burgundian style. I don't think it's the most magnificent Pinot Noir, but I think it's a really damn good first effort. It's really much more in the French style, more elegant, less fruit forward than the last wine we had, but more textured, more complex, and you can actually look at that in both the nose, the color, and even the flavor. And I think it's really a
it's
great
a
first
non-Mevusha.
effort. Yes, correct.
non-Mevusha.
And if you look here, there's a luster to this wine that neither the previous two Pinot Noirs had. Irrespective of the density of the red, you
Right.
can see a luster here.
Price?
What this is about $25, $28, something like that. What's also interesting, just as a fun thing, is that on the back the label is in Braille. So and the Herzogs have been doing this for many years.
Now, it's a
Yeah.
great wine.
This is
But there is still, and that have nothing to do with your wine, but because it's a wine coming from California, you can feel the citrus. And I'm not used to the citrus taste coming in the red wine.
I hear you.
I mean, particularly on a Pinot. That was one of the remarks I did on the white wine.
Right.
I have the same remark on this red, because there is, on a Pinot, the way I'm born and trained, you don't feel the citrus taste. But it is a good wine. It's a good Pinot made in America and in California.
And you see, I look at it the other way. I see Pinot as an underperformer, and this is adding to its potential.
It's a good Pinot. Good Pinot. But
Next. Don.
Most definitely.
The
Yeah.
citrus
You should
part-
encourage
Most
them.
definitely
The citrus
taste
part.
the French.
Yeah, but you should
method of-
encourage them.
They really didn't want
that was
to.
all
Really
right.
didn't give you that fruit forward, bang you out with fruit. on
I
the
prefer
front.
that. I prefer that in Pinot.
And what is this now?
This is a test.
This is a test?
All right,
He's
we
always
don't know
doing
what
this
this
stuff.
wine
I
is.
need
huh?
a cracker or something, please.
Here,
Ah,
cracker.
thank you.
What's the name of the number?
Wow.
You gonna tell us
Wow.
afterwards?
This is
Okay.
a hell of a nose. Oh my God.
You gonna tell us after we taste? Is this a Pinot Noir?
No. This is not a Pinot Noir.
If it is, we have a
No,
problem.
not a
this is
Pinot
this is
Noir.
probably a Cabernet.
Yeah, this is either Cabernet or Zinfandel.
No, it's a cab.
This is a
No,
Cabernet.
you got-
This
you
is a
got-
Napa.
You have too much
This
cherry.
reminds me of cherry, berry.
Too much cherry. It has to be Cabernet.
It seems to be a Cabernet, but it can be a Zinfandel. Some good Zinfandel can be
Wow.
like that, but it's a
You
great
really
wine.
think it's
This is a.
This
This is.
You can have some Zif which
This
tastes
is a
like
This is a.
Cabernet.
This is a
but
great
I
bottle
believe
of
it's a
wine.
Cabernet.
Big wine.
Big wine. Zinfandel. There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
A great
Big
surprise.
fruit forward
great Zif can be
Zinfandel.
like that.
Very nice job.
That's a
great
surprise.
wine. What the price of that, more or less?
Also about 30, 35 bucks.
You like it?
Great wine.
It's a surprise for a Zinf.
It's a Babushka.
Nah, Zim is a very good wine.
Oh my gosh.
Nevushol.
I need another
35?
blue cup. I
Huh?
need another
We
blue cup.
need blue cups here.
Yeah.
Because I'm slobbering all
It's
over
a
the
good
dock.
wine.
It's okay, it's all right. We did this
So it's
together.
a surprising Zif. You know, a great Zif is outstanding. Outstanding.
That's a, you know, but for so many people, that's an oxymoron.
By the way, you know, they
Great
say,
Zinfandel.
they
You know-
say that
you know-
Zinfandels
you
are
know-
originally from Italy.
Yeah.
Well, Zinfandel gets no respect.
That's
you
for
know-
sure.
That's right.
That's the Rodney
But you
Dangerfield
know-
wine. It gets no respect, but it really deserves respect.
You know,
It's
the
a
interesting
beautiful
part
wine.
on this
Can
Zif,
be.
Yeah.
you don't feel
Or it could be
like-
made into white Zinfandel.
Yes.
My wife's like,
It deserves no respect.
You know what? You know, I like white Zinfandel.
And so does my wife.
Yes, I do.
My wife likes
And
white
you know what? There are
Zinfandel.
times when a rosé is very appropriate. Long Shabbos afternoon
You do a
in the
white
summer.
thing? Yeah.
You sit out in the. Sometimes my wife and I will go out and after lunch, and we'll have half a bottle left of a rosé, and it's about 75 degrees outside. We'll sit under the tree, and we'll finish that half bottle under the tree, watching the birds chirp.
You know what I'm
And I
missing?
think
That's a great idea.
And I sit under the tree and fall asleep.
Go ahead.
Larry,
Let's.
that
let's
happens
do it.
after
Why don't
we-
you take
You
this
know what
away?
I'm missing on this Zinfandel?
Let's go.
Normally, you always have a peppery taste. Pepper.
Yes.
And
No,
you don't feel that pepper.
What's interesting about
But it's an
California
interesting
wines in
one.
general, and this Zinfandel too,
This is
is
mine.
that unlike French wines, and this is what I love about French wines,
What is this?
is that it's not complex. It's delicious, it's full, it's rich, but it's not
Need the bottle.
complex.
Need
Now,
the
we
bottle.
move
Is
on
this
to another
you?
varietal.
Who is this?
What are
We
we
need
doing?
the bottle on this.
What?
What is
Yeah.
this?
This is from Israel. But let's get the bottle.
It's interesting, you guys get happier as the day.
You've noticed, we're not drinking.
You know, there's an
That's even better.
osmosis factor even when spitting that gets into your
Well, no, no,
bloodstream.
you
don't
do,
actually
you do
drink.
drink. No, no, you do drink.
And-
Oh, we're spitting it
That's
out,
a nice
but that
one.
doesn't matter.
This
You
is
do get some in.
all right.
Syrup.
This is Hebron Heights Reserve. This is Hebron Heights Reserve Syrah, made in Kiryat Arba, Hebron. This is aged 12 months in French oak barrels. The grapes for this wine come from Kibbutz Kramim in the northern Negev, southern Hebron Hills. The grapevines on these wines were about 9 years old when harvested, and this is 2003 vintage. It was aged in bottles for 12 months after being aged in oak prior to release. I think you'll notice this is made in a full-bodied style, and you'll get the pepper from the Syrah on it as well. This is non-mavushal. And your price on this would be about $27 to $30.
It's not on the list.
Hebron Heights Syrah.
Every night.
I tell you the truth, I've gained more and more respect for the Syrahs over the years, and this is excellent.
You are becoming
That's
more. No, it's because you get more educated.
Perhaps.
You are
Well,
only in Burgundy. before.
you should know that you always try to learn, and this is part of the
And
learning
you-
process. This is
and
excellent.
That's part of the process of the wine tasting. Now you become a connoisseur, because normally you are a good expert in Burgundy,
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. I mean,
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux.
Burgundy is too tricky
Yeah.
for me. You know, one year's good.
That's because
one
of
year's
Pinot
bad.
Noir. It's
Yeah.
very, very tricky grape.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah. Well, the weather in it.
So
This
people
is.
decide to say-
We're ready.
It's about $30.
You had a,
Very much indicative of its
Cab.
terroir.
Cab Syrah Zin.
I thought that was
Just do a quick
tremendous.
taste on this, see if
I
it's
had that at
Now, this is a
Just do a
surprise
quick
wine
taste.
too.
Just do a
I
quick.
had that at the Ocean Grill.
Getting a lot of
New York,
surprises.
and
Wow.
I was
The,
really
also
impressed
got
with it.
But you know
Berry,
what?
cherry,
But you know what Brad
blackberry.
is doing here. Brad is surprising us
slipping his
only with
head.
Hagafen. Is what he's
Well,
doing.
I don't
Every-
know.
Every surprise wine is Hagafen now.
You think?
Yeah. So far, the last 3 surprises have all been Hagafen.
Well, it certainly has. It certainly
Has
has
a great nose,
and
but
you know, for
but I'm
Ernie
not
Weir
that
not
impressed
being
with
here,
the-
he's doing pretty well.
Very nice. Very
I'm not that
nice.
impressed with the. I'm impressed with the nose. I'm not that
It's
impressed
very
with
nice.
the
Very
flavor.
good nose, very good taste.
Really? I'm
Little
I think
bit
this-
of
I think
tannin.
it- I
The
think
nose
the taste
is
is
way.
shallow.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's a shallow.
I think it's
taste
got
that doesn't have
tannin, but
finish.
that's about it.
No, I disagree. I think it has some
No.
it has some light cherry on the finish, and
But light.
I think it's a good food wine. Is what I think this is. I would enjoy this on
Eating,
a Wednesday
I
night,
don't like
maybe
this
with a steak.
There is a little bit of
sorry.
tannin, but it
Yeah,
has a
it's
good
very
taste.
moderate, but there is enough fruit to make it enjoyable to have
Yeah.
with dinner.
I
What's the price
agree with
on it?
alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it?
Okay, let's go.
Let's
Do we
go
know
to
what
the
it
next.
was?
What is it?
Doesn't matter.
Well, we'd like
Okay.
to know.
All right, what
What
we're
was-
going into
this
what
is
The
now?
new one or
This is
the
the
old
blend
one?
now.
This is the new one.
Are we gonna?
All right,
Are we
I
gonna
need
tell
one.
you what this wine is?
Oh, hold on.
No.
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 So this is going to be a Shiraz Cabernet.
This is. Hold on one second.
The Beckett's Flat.
Yes, this
Oh,
is,
I
this is again from the Beckett's Flat Winery in the Margaret River of Western Australia. This is a 100% Shiraz from the 2003 vintage. We've got about 4 or 5 medals on this wine. People really, really like it. This is made 100% in stainless steel and again, hand harvested.
You know, the thing that I notice is that with few exceptions, there's a lot of good wine out here.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of good wine out here, whether it's yours, whether it's ours, whether it's somebody else's.
This is
There's
very nice.
really a
This is
lot
just the Shiraz.
Yes, Shiraz.
well-made wines, you know, in general.
I will tell you that, thank God, we live in a time where
Wine,
where
kosher wine.
kosher wine has made a quantum leap from even
Yes.
10 years ago, and the price on this would be about $18 to $20.
Well, actually, I'm going to be excited if we do the Shiraz Cabernet next.
Well, I
What's the
don't know
next
what
wine?
Yeah.
This is a Shiraz Cab.
Ah, okay.
From the same.
Good wine.
What
This
is
is
it?
from Yogev.
No,
What do we got here?
it's next.
It's which
Which
wine are
Shiraz
we
cab
getting?
is this? Galil?
This is
It's called Next. It's called
It's
Next.
called next.
I
From
think
the next
this is- I
winery.
think
For the next winery, you know,
Hold on.
the one down
I
here.
think this is corked.
Hold on.
Something off on this SO2. It's not corked. I think it's SO2.
I don't smell
Something's
anything.
off on the nose.
Yeah.
I don't smell anything.
This is off, in my view, my humble view.
Oh, please. I need another cracker.
Shiraz Cab.
I think we passed on this one. I'm not going to talk on this one.
I think that this bottle is not what it's supposed to be,
One hope.
or what they hoped it to be. I don't think that it's.
Recall.
Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah,
a
I
recall.
think it's corked,
Yeah.
We
which
recall
is
it.
great because
Yes.
it shows you, and I think
But
this
it
should
have
be on
possibility.
camera.
It have possibility.
I think this should be on camera. I think it's important to note that it's okay for a wine to be corked because what it means is that it happens, and that doesn't necessarily reflect negatively
Badly.
on the production in general.
I think it's important for consumers, if they get a corked bottle, to go back to their wine shop and ask for an exchange.
Yeah.
Because to make a judgment on a bottle of wine, no matter who the producer is, based on a corked bottle,
Right.
is
It's not
unfair.
fair.
Because
I
even
agree.
the top estates, first growths in Bordeaux, have corked bottles. And I think that that's why, by the way, in a restaurant, they will come over to you and the sommelier will pour you a little bit to taste, so that before you're committing the whole table to full glasses of wine, you can ascertain whether or not the wine is good or not. So
Correct.
And the tricky part is you don't know that if the whole case is or is
No,
not.
you
Because
don't.
it could be one bottle.
That's
Right.
right. That's
know,
right.
One bottle out
That's
of the
right.
case.
That's right.
That's the tricky part.
First time
Can we
I
get
took
the
my
bottle of
wife
this?
out, I sent back the first 3 bottles of wine.
Yes, you know,
She was mortified.
You know, I was one day in a restaurant on a $150 wine.
Yes.
Louis Saint George. I will remember that all
Louis
my
Saint
life.
George, yeah.
And it was cork. I send it to the guy, and the
Yeah.
guy say, he bring another one, and I say, sorry, it's cork.
I've had that happen
Second
to
one,
me.
he bring a third one. You imagine the money I've lost?
Yeah, well, listen.
And he had tears, you know.
Yes.
And after the third one, you cannot taste because when you have taste the cork, it's very
Can't taste
difficult to
anything
know
else.
if it was. I think the third one was also. So you know what? I went to something totally different.
What are we drinking here?
We're
What are we
drinking
not drinking?
Yatir.
Okay, you're drinking Yatir.
This is their second. Oh, you didn't get it.
It's okay.
Can we get one for the doctor of Yatir?
Yatir.
Where is it on
Where
our
is it on
sheet
the
here?
list?
It's a
It's
Shiraz?
not on. You have to add it.
Oh, okay, what is it, Shiraz?
Yatir.
You have to add it to the bottom. No, it's a blend. It's a typical Bordeaux blend of Cabernet Merlot. I'm sorry, not Bordeaux. Cabernet Merlot and Shiraz, 70, 15, and 10. This comes from the northern Judean hills. It is considered by Rogoff, who is kind of like the Robert Parker or the best, wine critic in Israel, is considered the most up and coming, perhaps one of the best wineries. It goes through no filtration, only racking. So that's why you can see non-mevushal. That's why you can see the sediment.
Non-mevushal?
Non-mevushal.
Okay.
And
The composition seems interesting.
it's really
The mix is
you
the
can
low
actually
good.
feel the tannins and almost you can even feel the thickness and richness on the palate as well. The color is obvious as well. It's black
nice.
almost.
Very nice.
It's really a very
Nice.
interesting wine. It's just about $30.
Yeah.
Just about $30.
See, I was gonna say great wine for $10. Kidding. Oh, that's got a lovely finish too. It really does.
Very nice.
Very complex.
Yeah.
Is that, you need a wine cellar though. I wouldn't drink this right
Yeah,
now.
this is young.
I would
Even
not
though
drink
it's a
this right
2002, this is 5 years old and yet it's still
Yeah.
young.
But you see,
Imagine.
Barry can talk more if it's non-mevushal.
I have a bias, it's healthier. It's healthier.
You see, it's a professional opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is really
But look at the
Pretty
color on
wonderful
this. This
bottle of
is
wine.
It's a
really,
great wine.
how much,
Very nice.
$30?
$30. Yeah.
And you see, you have the disc on the top. You see the white disc?
Yeah, you mean this?
Yeah. No,
No,
Oh,
no.
I see. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Very, very clear. Very,
The luster,
yeah. A lot.
That's what you call the luster. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, let's go.
Very nice wine.
Okay.
A winner.
Not,
real winner.
not
Yeah.
cheap, but a sure bet.
Yeah, sure bet.
Maybe it's not for every day.
No, but you want to please somebody,
Yeah.
that's what you offer. You want a good bottle of wine, that's what you choose.
Is this new?
No,
No,
nothing's new here.
everything.
Michael, we need you.
Yeah, we need more blue cups.
Yeah.
But so far,
Can you believe we're not drinking this?
No, I was sitting there like an idiot drinking all the wine. I was like,
Well,
some of
that,
was
this could be a
right.
very interesting video.
You'd be carrying us away.
There you go.
The video is getting more psychedelic. as
This
we
is
go
all
along.
right, okay.
Okay.
This is another Australian?
Taking,
Yes.
taking both your
we know what
booze.
that is, we can.
Another
Yes.
Australian.
We're,
Michael?
What is this?
Michael?
No, that's it.
Oh,
no,
that's
no,
it.
we're,
Ah, that's
no,
the one?
that is
This
new.
is the one.
This is what we're gonna have now.
Make it flat?
Yes. This is,
Can we hold off?
This is the mix.
Can we take a quick break to change tapes? Is that all right?
This is the case.